seeks to erase gender gap between women and tech by engaging, educating, and empowering women who are passionate about technology. Despite this, Girls in Tech stands for everyone who are enthusiastic about technology. Girls in Tech Nepal believes that every woman has a story to narrate through her struggle, her failure, and her success. We want to portray a life of a female who has broken all the stereotypes and also help the younger generation to find the role model they are looking for. Through her journey and her stories, Girls in Tech wants to inspire and allow more women to pursue and live their life authentically. Now, I'd like to welcome our speaker, Mrs. Kajal Naina. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me to speak today. I'm very
Thank
happy
you,
to
ma'am.
be here. हजुर.
Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Kajal Naina is an award-winning jewelry designer born and raised in Nepal. She creates one-of-a-kind collection and bespoke items of jewelry for clients around the globe, representing the beauty of Nepal through her stylish and sophisticated design. Most of her designs are inspired by nature, celestially inspired or traditionally symbolic. Even the simple pieces are often a reminder of something special. So right now we are hosting this session through our Facebook Live. So I'd also like to mention that if you have any question, please feel free to put it down there in the comment section. Now, without further delay, I'd like to hand over the session to our speaker. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. It is actually so nice. मेरो आफ्नो कुरा भन्दा पनि, it is so nice, it is so encouraging, and it is really inspirational to see that हाम्रो नेपालमा पनि so many things are going on. Girls in Tech, especially when I got to know about this group, and I was talking to my husband also, who is a tech guy actually, right? म चाहिँ होइन, but he is. And that I was invited to talk here, and we were talking about all this, and it's really great to see how young people are so proactive these days. के अनि मलाई चाहिँ हाम्रो बेलामा well, I went to school, college 20 years ago, Alaina. So compared to what we went through and how we were, अहिलेको ladies, women, you all are like really smart and active. So I want to like really congratulate you guys for being here, and especially the ones who are here. I know that you all have a purpose in life. You're inspired, you are motivated. That is why you are here. That is why you are here to probably why you are here to hear me speak today. I know. So thank you for inviting me, and yeah, let's go on now. Right. So basically, let me introduce myself. So I am Kajal. As Diksha already said, I am a jewelry designer. मेरो बारे भन्नुपर्दा चाहिँ, I used to be a dentist. I am still a dentist, but a non-practicing one, because जे कुरा पनि, once you have already had a name, an accomplishment, a certificate, or whatever it is, experience under your belt, it's always there. It never goes away. So I am a dentist, and I'm proud to say that I'm still a dentist, just not practicing either. So I'm a practicing jeweler now. I'm an award-winning jeweler, if I may say so. I know, and I am happy to share my journey with you. I hope you can find something that will inspire you, motivate you, or just something that might help you, because you all are very young. You're starting out, and the future is there for you. Right. So basically, talking about myself, I guess that's why we are here. I am here to talk about myself today. Talking about myself, let's start with where I started. So I was born and I was brought up in Kathmandu, Nepal. I went to I did my schooling in Kathmandu itself, St. Mary's. So I went to all girls school, St. Mary's High School, 10th grade summer. So after the 10th, during those times, हाम्रो बेलामा, there was a trend of going to India for high school also, which I followed because I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to do science, medicine. And at that time, Nepalma थिएन. Nepalma hardly, there was just actually for dentistry, I think there was none when I went out. So the idea was that I will go to India to do my medical. So I went for my high school to India. I did my 11, 12 in Missouri. And after I finished my high school, so that was a very strange period for me. So मेरो लाइफमा चाहिँ I would like to present to you very shortly, very briefly, in 3 steps, I mean, not 3 steps, in 3 parts of my life. So one is my childhood and my school days or whatever it is. Then there is a second part of my journey where, and that was my Nepal life up to where I was in Nepal. But after that, as you know, I'm out of Nepal right now, living in Hong Kong. But I've lived in different parts of the world. So there was a time which is very close to my heart that I lived in Japan. And then the third part is when I have been in Singapore and Hong Kong. So मेरो life area when I see it in 3 parts, So I'm just gonna tell you briefly. If there's any questions, anything in between that you feel like you would like me to speak a little more about or a little less about, you can always put in your questions. And I think Diksha, moderator, let's say Malay, you can always
Yes, ma'am.
let
I
me
have
know.
a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, you talked about how you did your schooling and you went to India for practicing medicine and studying dentistry.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know. I think every one of us here want to know, like, how were you at school or colleges? Like, were you an A plus or A grade student, or were you an average student? And like, how did you tackle all your studies? And why did you choose, like, at that point, like, we were not also developed, like Nepal was still, education system was not so developed. So why did you choose dentistry as your career path?
Okay, that's an interesting question, actually. So हाम्रो नेपाल इन्डियामा चाहिँ, like, when you say what kind of a student I was, can you take a guess? What do you think? Looking at me today.
Like, I guess you are a grade student.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone, just because you're a grade student, go to take medical or dental or sciences, But yeah, in general, you know that I'm Nepali Indian mentality, or I don't know, it's morely Asian culture, and then also in Western, maybe some. But if you're good in studies, you're automatically thought to become a doctor, engineer, or something like that. At least in my days. Now it's changing, and I hope it changes because there's so much out there to do, तर मेरो पालीमा चाहिँ, yeah, it was like that. And like you guessed, I was a very good student. I was good in studies, but I was also very extracurricular oriented. I used to take part in a lot of debates, elocutions, quizzes or majante, and I was not very sporty, but I was quite sporty. I used to take part in sports also. So I kind of like to do a lot of things, but I was also very artistic, and I was also very artistically inclined. So I had two extreme interests, एउटा चाहिँ आर्ट अनि एउटा चाहिँ साइन्स, अनि बिचमा चाहिँ बिजनेस पढ्थ्यो होइन कुरा सोच्यो भने. एन्ड आई always thought, oh my god, business is not for me, I'm never going to do business. I'm either going to be an artist or I'm just going to be a science person, and I'm not going to work for money. That was what I thought as a naive young girl, Sunny, and that was what really motivated me. So yeah, did I answer your question? त्योबाट भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ also मेरो फ्यामिलीमा पनि, oh, I have to say that. So when I say I was born and brought up in Nepal, luckily I think even today there is so much womenहरूमा हुन्छ नि, what you can do, what you cannot do, familiesहरूमा. And I think especially अलिकति हाम्रो villagesहरूमा हुँदा opportunities are low for a lot of women. We are among the lucky ones. अहिले हामी यहाँ जो पनि छौँ, I think we should consider ourselves lucky that we are so far in life, So my family also always encouraged मेरो आन्सर पनि doctors हुनुहुन्छ. So my family always tried to give us equal opportunities as the men in the family. So that way I was lucky भनौँ न, होइन. अनि I was always encouraged to find my passion and do what I want to. And I think it was also seeing my aunts or doctors ke ani मैले पनि studies ma राम्रो भयो नि, oh I'll be a doctor भन्थे के. So that was that. Yeah. Yeah, so that was that. And but there was a point, I should say, about if you guys are at some point where you're like, you always believe in one thing. Just to मलाई say, I always believed I was going to be a doctor. I always मेरो until my 12th को last सम्म पनि के म चाहिँ डक्टरै बन्छु भनेको है. But you know what, like I told you, I was always interested in arts and especially fine arts के drawing, painting त्यस्तोहरू गर्थेँ. मेरो हबीको मेरो त्यो not हबीको, what do you call it, कहिले कहिले कसले पैसाहरू दिन्छ दसैँहरूमा कलेक्ट हुन्छ, अल दोज मनीजहरू हुन्छ नि, आई अलवेज युज टु स्पेन्ड इट अन, यु नो वाट, ब्याक देन त्यो बेलामा एकता बुक सप मात्रै हुन्थ्यो कि नेपालमा, एन्ड यु डिड नट गेट टु मेनी थिङ्स, एन्ड देयर वाज अल्सो पिलग्रिम्स बुक हाउस एक्चुली, तर त्यति धेरै पाउँथेन. आई अलवेज युज टु बाई आर्टिस्टहरूको बुक्स, so I spent a lot of my money buying books. So I would read through different artists' work or painters or especially. So I did that also. So I think you can see that I was inclined te belama, although I said I want to be a doctor. Yeah. So that was that. And then after school, of course, college, I went to India. Then I came back. But there were 2 or 3 really difficult times in my life, you know, which not everyone goes through, but sometimes life happens, life mahuncha. So when I was in second year in college, I lost my mom, and then later on my college days ko end ma, I lost my dad. So like really early on, we lost both our parents. I have 2 younger brothers. So we were like, it was very shocking because we never expected that, you know. सबैजनालाई, we always think हाम्रो पेरेन्ट्सहरू भनेको कस्तो रक हुन्छ नि आफ्नो लाइफमा, they're the rock of our life, and we think like parents say, we just take it for granted that they're always going to be there for you, and हुन्छ नि जे पर्यो भने मेरो बाउ छ, मेरो आमा छ, and we kind of treat it like nothing. But that was very sudden and that was very unexpected, and that did happen. I was very tempted to quit my dentistry and go back to Nepal and just take care of the family. But my family insisted, better is to finish what you're doing. That is, so your सबै experiences, but at the end of it, what I got is like how important and how lucky I was to have supportive family, how important it is to have people around you who are positive, who encourage you in the right direction, who give you the right kind of advices, you know, and who support you, who are there to support you. Like that is so important. So since then, I've always realized it's very important to surround yourself with positive people. Okay, अगाडि बढ्नु छ भने positive people चाहिन्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ जहिले पनि, that's I think one of my main takeaways from those incidents is that having a supportive family meant a lot to me, you know. And I try to practice that in life today also. So that was the first part of my life. I became a dentist and came back, and it was really good. Hospitals, I worked in Beer Hospital. Then I worked for a short time, I worked at हाम्रो के भन्छ अरे उसमा KMC 2 years. 2 years I was a dentist at KMC. I also worked at Om's Hospital. Om Hospital Chabelma pani work gare. So hospitals-hरुमा काम गरे. Then I had my own clinic. I was running my own clinic, all girls team. त्यो बेलादेखि नै I really like to support women. So it was मेरो clinicमा पनि everyone was ladies. Occasionally कहिले कहिले हाम्रो specialist male doctors एउटा दुईटा drop in हुनुहुन्थ्यो, but generally it was all the assistants were ladies. My receptionist was a lady. मेरो dental assistants were ladies. So that is what we had. So basically, yeah. And okay, let me tell you, because you guys are probably, some are at the point where you've just finished, some are probably still doing your finals, you know, some maybe early on in your career path. I'm really grateful for whatever I've done in Jun step ma bhaye pani. It's not like time wasted or time lost. एउटा गरे अहिले आएर अर्को गर्नु पर्यो, so I lost so much time भन्ने चाहिँ कहिले पनि भएन कि मलाई, because whichever stage you are in, I think if you are there to learn, next stage ma esto help huँदो रहेछ के. So me being a dentist, whatever I learned today as a jewelry designer, I think it really enhanced me and helped me to go forward. So all the skills that I learned being, so for 9 years I worked as a dentist, right? मेरो आफ्नो clinic पनि थियो पछि त पहिला hospital and clinics गरेर totally I worked as a dentist for a total of 9 years, which is a lot, होइन. 9 वर्ष आफ्नो लाइफको एउटा करियरमा हालेर फत्त छोडेर अर्को जानु पर्दा it is heartbreaking sometimes, and it was not an easy decision, but it really helped. Yeah. So I think the most important thing that I did knowingly unknowingly was I was always हुन्छ नि सकेसम्म बेस्टै गर्छु मेरो भनेर हिँड्थेँ कि म. सो त्यसरी जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ it has helped me in every stage, even today, होइन. So yeah, that was my dent. Oh, and also when I say that self-improvement is so necessary, मैले dentistry गर्दा चाहिँ just because I finished college, came back, gave my exams again, NMC exams हरू दिनुपर्छ. I think I came out with flying colors. सबैले भनेको थियो त्यो बेलामा होइन, one of the highest भयो थियो भनेर. And then I started working, but the thing was working भनेर it never ended there. Even as a dentist, I then went on to do my MFGDP from RCSC UK, Royal College of Surgeons UK, but अर्को diploma degree गरे. I joined and I finished implant courses हरू गरे. अनि there was always short courses हरू लिइराख्थेँ कि. Yeah. So as a dentist, that was until 2008 को end. Yeah. So until 2008 end, that was my life. And I think यो सबैबाट चाहिँ what I would like to say त्यो बेलासम्मको भन्यो भने the thing that comes to head sometimes, and people have asked me बा त्यति धेरै गरिसकेर छोड्न गाह्रो भएन, like हुन्छ नि it's really scary, all those things. And yes, it did come about. तर again, it's all mindset, how you look at it, and how you take things, I think. Knowingly unknowingly मेरो केसमा चाहिँ positive attitude helped a lot. I guess so. Unknowingly नै भन्नु पर्यो जस्तो छ, because अलिकति positive मान्छे परे जस्तो लाग्यो अहिले. Not that I didn't feel the stress, of course I did. Anyway, so that was that. Then came the twist in my life. I thought I was very happily settled in Nepal, doing my own thing, हुन्छ नि growing as a dentist, career पनि एकदम राम्रो भइरहेको थियो. A lot of my friends went to the US, to UK, to Australia, अनि भन्थ्यो कि जाने होइन त पनि भनेर. अनि मलाई चाहिँ no, I don't want to go, म त नेपालमै like कति scope छ, I want to do it, and I'm doing well, so I have no need to go out. That was the feeling, होइन. But sometimes life throws you a curveball. Yeah. So that's I mean मैले खोजेर होइन कि it so happened that suddenly, very suddenly, I made a decision to leave Nepal, होइन. अनि त्यो चाहिँ किन भने love happened. Love happened एकदमै unexpectedly, yeah. So I met my husband, and I fell in love, and I wanted to be with him. So ऊ चाहिँ त्यो बेलामा जापानमा बसिरहेको थियो, and he had come down to Nepal, and we met, and then after some time we decided that we're good for each other, and एकदमै मन पर्यो मलाई, frankly, होइन. And so I decided, yeah, for the move. so that ended my Nepal chapter until I was like, I was quite त्यो बेलासम्म त अब उसलाई भेट्दाखेरि I was at the end of my 20s, होइन. So I was a big girl. I could take care of myself and make my decisions. So I decided to be with him, and I decided to leave everything that I had worked for in Nepal. जति पनि build गरेको थिएँ, that was for love. So decided to move. अनि त्यो भन्दाखेरि म एकचोटि भन्छु है त, मेरो हस्बेन्ड चाहिँ छ नि, तपाईहरु सबै, I mean, because this is hosted by Girls in Tech, अस्ति नै पनि I thought I should have told you, I forgot. So he is actually a tech guy, and I think he's बाहिर बसेर पनि, not to say anything brag about my husband, kind of brag, right? बाहिर बसेर पनि he's at a position where a lot of अरूहरू नै कति हुँदैन नि, कोइरेहरू भन्दा पनि लाइक ही इज इन अ भेरी गुड ऊ. द्याट्स बिकज ही वर्क्स भेरी हार्ड, ही नोज वाट ही डज. एन्ड आई थिङ्क टेक्नोलोजीमा चाहिँ म त आम नट अ टेक पर्सन, बट आई डु युज अ लट अफ टेक इन माई वर्क with a lot of encouragement from my husband. So in future, if you guys want anything tech related to talk to him, or huncha ni bahira basera tech industry ma always one doing, then he could probably talk to you as well. Okay, getting back to me. Any questions?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask you, like, like most of the, like, you are very brave enough, like you left out like what you were doing practicing dentistry. You said like you had your own clinic and you were practicing there. But most of the people are not brave enough to change their career path. They do not have the courage to change their career and shift towards something they desperately love are passionate about. So how did you get the leap of faith? How did you get the courage to change your career and build the empire you have right now?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, like I said, about there are certain times in life when we have to make a decision. It's not easy, and sometimes we might there are two paths or maybe even three paths in front of you. Kun line bhanne, it depends from person to person what you will do depending on your situation, on your mental, your physical, or sabai state, emotional, how much can you take, how much can you not take, and all those. So like I said, number one for me, and I will not lie, it was stressful. मैले धेरै महिनासम्म सोचे के before I made that change. Basically it was very necessary, because like I said, म छोडे हैन, नेपाल छोडेपछि I went to Japan. Japanमा I was okay, I'm going to do dentistry. That was my thought. What I said was, yeah, I'm going to leave Nepal, but I'm not leaving dentistry. Whatever it takes, I'm going to be a dentist in Japan. भनेर हैन गएको म. अनि त्यहाँ गएर चाहिँ then I realized it is a very tough thing. But again, I was like, doesn't matter. I'm going to do it. Probably it'll take 2 or 3 years or whatever it takes. I'm going to do it. तर जापानमा चाहिँ language छ के. So first thing I needed to do was language, हैन. So third day I started going to language school. Okay, so now I can read and write Japanese as well. So I mean, it's not lost. It's good to have something extra under your belt, हैन. I went, and for one whole year I did intensive Japanese because I wanted to do dentistry in Japanese. अब इङ्ग्लिसमै यस्तो गाह्रो हुन्छ भन न, अब होइन यस्तो कुराहरू गर्दा. And on top of that I have to do it in Japanese. So I was very focused. Japanese सिक्छु म गर्छु भनेर के. तर okay, so because we are all like girls in tech, होइन, girls को छ. So being women, ladies, whatever, अब भनौँ न females, हामीले आफूलाई, there opportunities equal छ अहिले संसारमा. Like I told you, starting from my family, I always got equal opportunities. But there are some cases or some instances where being a female again puts you at some disadvantage also. And we have to understand that and put our head around that and know how to navigate that. Male र female के जति गरे पनि अलिकति डिफरेन्स चाहिँ आइ नै हाल्दो रहेछ. Whether because society is such, or I don't know, it's just there. It's there, and you will find it along your course of life. You will find certain instances where being a female, you are put in the back seat. Okay? So मैले चाहिँ गएर then I applied to पहिला त language भन्यो, okay fine, I'm going to learn, but then also because I was newly married, I was okay, early 30s पुगे भनौँ न, 30 वर्ष लाग्यो त्यसपछि त. And then question also comes, as a family there are many things that we juggle as a woman, हैन. अब आफ्नो family life juggle, त्यो बेलामा husband wife भने पनि. अनि मेरो छोरी छ कि, मेरो husband को first उसको पहिलाबाट एउटा छोरी छ, whom I have taken as my own जाने बित्तिकै. So I did have a child also at that point, and I was also already a mother, भनौँ न उसलाई बिहा गर्ने बित्तिकै, हैन. So there are decisions to be made. अनि when I applied to the thing चाहिँ पहिला language भन्यो. So I thought, okay, let me learn language. Next year again I'll apply, and I want to do my masters, give exams, this that, become a dentist in Japan. But then the question of children came around. Now फेरि मलाई चाहिँ एकदमै बच्चा मन पर्ने कि. I really wanted 3 kids of my own. यत्तिकै for some reason I always thought, oh, I'll have 3 children of my own भन्ने खालको थियो. So I conceived, without really planning to. It just happened, and when it happened, I thought it was a sign that I should have a kid. So it was kind of like a decision point कि अब केटा भयो भने त त्यो decision खासै धेरै पर्दैन होला, केटी भएपछि चाहिँ पर्छ. So I had to make a decision, so I went ahead and I had my baby. So Ria was born, I know. So Ria was born, and after she was born, my husband was very supportive. He always said whatever it takes to, because he kind of felt like कस्तो नेपालमा राम्रो गरेर आएको थियो उसले टिपेर ल्याए जस्तो बिचरालाई हुन्थ्यो होला. So he was always nice, always supportive. Luckily I have a very supportive husband, and he said whatever it takes. And my mother-in-law was so supportive. आएर बस्दिन्छु, बच्चा हेरिदिन्छु, तिमी पढ्ने भयो, कलेज जाऊ भन्नुभएको थियो कि मलाई. But when I applied, मलाई दिएन कि त्यो year. किनभने यो त पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट कोर्सेस हो नि. So I was going for implants and dental implantsमा मेजर गर्नलाई. The professor in Japan told me, you have a small kid, I don't want to take you. That was the only reason why he didn't want to take me, because I had a kid who was like 1 year old bitra ke. And when your kid is older, come back. Because I said, no, I'll do everything. Like, I'll do well, just give me that chance, take me. Everything else criteria meet only that. So, but he said no, because women with small kids will, even though you don't want to, you will end up slowing the whole batch down. Okay, so that's, I think that was very unfortunate, and that was very biased, so being a woman, I faced that, and I felt it at that time. Not because you're not good enough, not because your scores aren't good enough, not because you're not smart enough, but because you have a kid, and he was afraid that I would not be able to keep up. I know, and then I thought, okay, I'll come again when my kid is a little bit older. So सोच्दै सोचेको थिएन कि मैले लाइफमा त्यसरी पनि अड्काइदिन्छ भनेर नि, तर अड्किँदो रहेछ. Anyways, later on we moved from Tokyo and eventually Singaporeमा गएर I had to work very hard, but I did get into NUS, which is one of the most prestigious colleges in the world, National University of Singapore. I got into dental and perio, so I was specializing in periodontology, and that is another story, but I got into that again. So yeah, so that was my life as a dentist. Go part summer. As you know, now I am a jewelry designer. I'm a jewelry designer. Dentistry was also a passion, but then I realized now, डर लाग्यो क्या त्यो बेलामा, छोड्ने बेलामा, ला अब के गर्ने, यस्तो मनपर्ने कुरा छोडेर, now what am I going to find? What am I even going to do? I have spent हुन्छ नि कलेजको 5-6 years doing dentistry, learning to be a dentist, training myself to be good at what I do. I've spent another 10 years, 12 years, because 9 years the dentist भएर काम गरेँ, and then couple of more years trying to get into dentistry in Japan, in Singapore. And in Singapore, I got in. I was working in NUS, NUH, NDC, त्यहाँको national hospitals as a dentist. And then suddenly time came that I have to leave it. I have to leave all that because it was just not working out. अब कि husband कि wife दुईटाबाट एउटा sacrifice हुनुपर्छ नि त. So I had to make that decision. So that was the second twist in my life, I should say. Life brings you like a lot of curves, and kaile plan gare answer hudaina. We have to plan for life. You cannot not plan, because you have to have a plan. But I also realize, as young people, especially, you have to have a very flexible mind and a flexible plan, and be able to improvise along life as you go along. So if you cannot improvise, you get tired, frustrated in life, depressed. Just stop thinking and go ahead. I think that's whatever you get once. If life gives you lemon, make lemon juice or whatever. It seems very cliche, but त्यसको meaning junsa, I find it very meaningful. I know. And that's what I had to tell myself too when I actually was facing those problems. अनि दीक्षाले भन्नुभयो जस्तै, wasn't it difficult? Yes, it was. It was not easy. Was it scary? Yes. Super scary. राति सुत्न सकेन कतिसम्म कि because I am someone who loves being a busybody, भनौँ न, काम गरिराख्नु मन लाग्छ, all those things. And just letting go of something that you've earned, your experiences, what you think you're good at, it is difficult. But like I said, mindset, yeah. So that was part of life where we learn to improvise, where we learn to also see what best we can do given that situation. I know. Yeah. Okay. Anything that you would like to say?
Oh yes, ma'am. I like as you worked in Nepal for like almost 9 years. You worked for 9 years, and that's a very long time, you know. So like you were grown in Nepal, and now you are in Hong Kong. And so, what is the difference do you find in working in Nepal and working there in Hong Kong at the moment?
Um, okay. The difference भनेर अब working in Nepal or working in Hong Kong भनेर चाहिँ because worकै भन्यो भने चाहिँ those were very different areas that I've worked in. So एकदम direct comparison like that say I cannot say, but I will say that having I mean नेपालीहरु भएर कि, or maybe it's just me, I don't know. I do feel that I need to really push myself out of my box, के त्यो mind को box हुन्छ नि. I really need to push myself out there to be able to do things. And people say, hey Kajal, yeah, you are, you're outgoing, you can do it. You don't feel it any difficult, or you can just do it. Yeah, I am outgoing and I am positive, and I usually try to take things in a stride, So that doesn't mean it's easy for me. I there are a lot of situations I'm not comfortable with, but I still do it. I still train my mind to do it, to be out there, अनि कति कुरा चाहिँ हामी I think it's also our upbringing, which is a great upbringing के नेपाली हाम्रो संस्कार भन्छ ठुलोलाई मान्नुपर्छ हुन्छ नि स्कुलै हुँदा पनि अब तपाईहरुको बेलामा कस्तो भयो हाम्रो बेलामा चाहिँ स्कुल हुँदा टिचरले ए भन्यो भने बी भन्न नपाउने बी भन्यो भने सी भन्न नपाउने कुरा काट्न नपाउने आफ्नो थट्स अगाडि हाल्न नपाउने we were always taught to हुन्छ नि keep quiet, listen, just listen and take it in, and that's it. You are not allowed to really teacher la answer pani, there can be so many different ways to answer the same thing. Tara hamlai school hunda chai okay, this is the way to answer and that's it हुन्थ्यो नि. So I feel that अरु वेजले चाहिँ हैन त्यो कुराहरुले गर्दा होला अलिकति बक्समा के. अनि बाहिर जब बस्न थाल्यो when I started living out of Nepal चाहिँ I started realizing oh म स्मार्ट भने मान्छे त I'm really quite म अलिकति के त्यति भोइस आउट गर्न नसक्ने जस्तो फिल हुने कि ग्रुपमा बस्यो भने एकदमै उ गर्न नमन लाग्ने, रादर किप क्वाइट भने जस्तो हुने. यतिकै कुराहरु त ठिकै छ, बट that was probably our upbringing ko the good side and the bad side, which maybe in recent years youngsters are more proactive, and they are also I hope they are given that opportunity to voice their opinion. It might be right, it might be wrong, but you should have a discussion. I know त्यो कुराले गर्दा I have had to train my mind and myself. एकदमै त्यो चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै च्यालेन्जिङ लागेको. बाहिरको मान्छेहरु त कस्तो टक 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 हैन, हामी चाहिँ है okay, should I say, should I not say, मैले भन्यो भने यो मान्छे will get pissed off, or maybe he won't like it, maybe she won't like it, and that kind of is limiting for us. That त्यो चाहिँ I feel it, yeah.
Ma'am, I'd like to address the question from Basanti Neopane, and she says, do you think if you were in Nepal, it was possible for you to have that career switch to a totally different path?
Yes and no. Fortunately, मैले अब jewelry, so if you look at to have that career switch, yes, I say, because there could be so many things I could have done. होइन, नट नेसेसरी म ज्वेलरी डिजाइनरै हुन्थेँ भन्ने, म पेन्टरै हुन्थेँ कि होइन, अर अब म आर्टिस्टिक अलिकति उभा हुनाले भने कि, अर आई कुड हेभ मेबी डन समथिङ, आई कुड हेभ बिन अ बेकर, आई लभ बेकिङ होइन, अर आई कुड हेभ I don't know, out of my many different hobbies that I have, if I'm really passionate about something, त्यो खाने मुखलाई जुङ्गाल छेक्दैन भन्छ नि, it's like that. So you have to think like that. It's not only where you are, what you have in front of you, it's also about your mindset. How will you make use of it? होइन, सो मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो फिल हुन्छ नि, म जहाँ भए पनि मैले केही न केही चाहिँ गर्थेँ होला, अब कतिको सक्सेस हुन्छ हुँदैन, द्याट्स डिफ्रेन्ट. फर्स्ट यु हेभ टु डु इट टु हेभ द्याट सक्सेस होइन. अब ए भनेर बस्यो भने त आई डोन्ट नो वेदर आई कुड हेभ अर वुड हेभ अर सुड हेभ भन्ने कुरा जस्तो कि. तर where I am as a jewelry designer, Nepalमा भए हुन्थिनँ म jewelry designer. Probably I would have been something else. If I had to change my career, I don't know what, but I would have been something else. Jewelry designer I could be because of where I had that opportunity that I wanted to learn completely outsider भयो भने यो इन्डस्ट्री नै त्यस्तो छ कि ज्वेलरीको, इभन यहाँ पनि एकदमै गाह्रो छ छिर्नलाई. It's such an industry that technical धेरै कुराहरू हुन्छ, and it is a very expensive industry because it is a fine jewelry industry that I chose, not a costume or a fashion jewelry होइन. So in terms of everything, it is a very difficult industry to get into, which I have had my own challenges. I've also tried to see how I can go about it. Having been in Singapore, in Hong Kong, मेरो Japan experiences helped a lot to make me understand different things. So definitely your question को answer गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ ज्वेलरीमा हुनलाई चाहिँ नेपालमा भए म definitely it wouldn't have been so, but I think I could have done something even if I was in Nepal and I had to make that switch, as long as, you know, बुझ्नुभयो नि होइन. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, you, as you mentioned, like you just mentioned, like designing is a very creative job. You know, like it's very competitive as well, and you need a lot of time and practice doing it and settling it. So, were you doing something related to it or practicing it before you entered this field?
Okay. एकदमै absolutely not. यसको आन्सरमा चाहिँ I did not know, यो चाहिँ एकदमै frankly, I did not even in my dreams dreamt about that I was going to be a jewelry designer until February हो कि March होइन of that year, which is 2016 मा. So 2000 को February March सम्म I was a dentist. I was practicing dentistry. I was doing my postgraduate in implants and gum diseases. I was also in that course. I was also working in National University Hospital Singapore, National Dental Hospital Singapore. त्यहाँ गरिरहेको थिएँ होइन. The next month I found myself going into jewelry. एकदमै like overnight कि मैले त्यो चाहिँ. And it was a leap of faith. अघि तपाईँले भन्नुभयो जस्तै complete leap of faith. तर यस्तो हुन्छ, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think that, you know, I like it or I'm passionate. मैले अघि नै भने जस्तै मलाई एकदमै आर्टमा इन्क्लाइन्ड मान्छे कि म. अनि I love music, I love art, painting, beautiful things. त्यस्तो मेरोमा थियो नि त. So when I found out, okay, मेरो first choice of being a dentist, probably it's better मेरो lifeमा at this point not to pursue that anymore. Then I wanted to do something that I still enjoyed, I still loved, and I thought I can do good in and I can enjoy. And in that उसमा मैले jewelry भेट्टाएँ कि. अनि जिरोबाट नै गरेको सुरु चाहिँ. Yeah. But you have to have some kind of sense and some kind of passion about it, right? But it was starting from zero. तर त्यो भन्दाखेरि, okay, let me tell you again, jewelry मा start गर्ने बित्तिकै चाहिँ I found a lot of connections between jewelry and dentistry. Like, although it's so completely different, होइन त्यो साइन्स यो आर्ट, अब त्यो भने मान्छेको त्यो मुखमा च्याट फ्याट गरेर इन्जेक्सन हालेर काटेर दाँत तानेर के गरेर मान्छे, दिस इज कम्प्लिट, अब यो त कस्तो डिफ्रेन्ट कुरा, तर एकदमै धेरै कुराहरू आई कुड फाइन्ड, maybe when your heart and your mind wants it, you find that connection or something. But म त day one देखि I was like, oh my god, what did I find, what did I find, I found something that I don't think हुन्छ नि, I think I'm going to be very happy, त्यस्तो भयो कि मलाई त्यसैले.
That's pretty much answered, ma'am. Ma'am, now I guess you could continue with your journey.
Okay. Well, actually, let me, okay, first let me tell you, now that I'm a jeweler, होइन, अब तपाईँहरूले गर्यो भने, so then how भन्ने कुरा आउँछ नि त, होइन, when you completely switched, अस्तिसम्म चाहिँ मान्छेको गिजा रगत दाँत फोहोर हल्लिरहेको क्लिन हो त्यस्तो सोचेर बसिरहेछ, अनि सडनली ज्वेलरीमा सोच्दाखेरि how does it go about? But like I said तपाईँलाई, there were a lot of similarities and it is to some extent beauty. Dentistryमा पनि a lot is also to make you feel good about yourself, to feel, तपाईँले यहाँ अगाडि यत्रो पाल परेर दाँत छ भने तपाईँलाई बोल्न पनि मन लाग्दैन, अब इट इज ब्युटी के खास दुखाए होस् नहोस् बोल्न सक्नुहुन्छ त सक्दैन नि. सो एज अ डेन्टिस्ट चाहिँ वी अलवेज ह्याड टु थिङ्क, ओ द रिजन आई गट इन्टु डेन्टिस्ट्री वाज इट इन्क्लुडेड टु अफ माई प्यासन्स, ब्युटी होइन, आर्ट एन्ड साइन्स बोथ. द्याट वाज वाइ आई वाज इन्टु डेन्टिस्ट्री एक्चुली. सो and jewelry matter without that science, body ko science part jigera, it's still about making someone feel good. It's still about bringing more meaning into your life. Mere light, eh? It's still about bringing happiness into someone's life. It's still about beauty. And the science part चाहिँ कहाँ आउँछ भन्यो भने, not the actual science part, but तपाईँको साइकोलोजिकल साइन्स पार्ट आउँछ कि ब्युटीमा चाहिँ, बुझ्नु भएन. सो त्यसरी पनि कनेक्सन्स आउँछ, अ लट अफ कनेक्सन्स कम इन लाइक द्याट. एन्ड सुरुमा चाहिँ के गर्छु भनेर भन्न सकिनँ, बिकज आई जस्ट वेन्ट विथ द फ्लो, हेरौँ न त, होइन. तर एज यु स्टार्ट वर्किङ, तपाईँहरूलाई पनि समटाइम्स यु स्टार्ट वर्किङ बिकज यु फिल, ओ दिस कुड वर्क, I think I like this, I think I enjoy this भनेर छिरेको, म त्यसरी नै छिरेको कि यसमा गर्दै गएपछि you start finding your way around it. अब ज्वेलरीमा there's fashion jewelry, there's fine jewelry, there's different, there's all kind of different things, होइन. तर के मनपर्छ भने गर्दै गएपछि आफूलाई थाहा हुन्छ नि. फाइन ज्वेलरीमा पनि अब मैले यो बनाउँछु, आज किन यो बनाएँ किन यो बनाएँ, भित्रबाट जे आउँछ त्यो बनाउने हो नि त मैले त. मलाई अनि मलाई भित्रबाट चाहिँ गर्दा गर्दा आई रियलाइज वाट आई लाइक इज आई लाइक डुइङ मिनिङफुल थिङ्स, होइन. आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु मेक ज्वेलरी जस्ट फर द सेक अफ मेकिङ ज्वेलरी. समटाइम्स आई डु अफ कोर्स, बट इन जेनरल कि. सो काजल नैना नेम पनि सोचे एन्ड इन द एन्ड आई थट इट्स एन एक्सटेन्सन अफ माई सेल्फ, इट्स एन एक्सटेन्सन अफ माई फिलिङ. सो आई वान्ट टु नेम इट काजल नैना, नट बिकज आई एम लाइक ओ काजल नैना मेरो नाम भनेर. But only even at Kajal Naina, so what we say is like, basically I say wear it because it's beautiful. I wear this because it's really beautiful, but I love it because it's meaningful. I know, beauty and meaning, say, at least for me in all my work, is super important. And sometimes when we say meaningful, it sounds quite frivolous, I know, meaningful whenever. तर अघि तपाईँले भन्नुभयो जस्तै अब मेरो डिफ्रेन्ट इन्सपिरेसन्सहरू हुन्छ, लाइक वेदर इट्स लाइक नेचर इन्सपायर्ड, सेलेस्टियली इन्सपायर्ड, सिम्बोलिक, ट्रेडिसनल इन्सपायर्ड, or just because जे हो भने पनि आई थिङ्क a lot of people have related nationally and internationally. A lot of people have related because each person can find their story in our creations. जस्तो लाग्छ कि किन भन्दाखेरि that creation did not just come about, it actually came because the first मलाई माइन्डमा स्टोरी आउँछ अनि ज्वेलरी पिस आउँछ कि, बुझ्नुभयो. सो that is very important to me, and in that sense I feel like हुन्छ नि स्टोरी टेलर भने जस्तो हुन्छ. But and the other thing that I found, त्यसैले whatever it is, I think once you start doing more and more, you will find what is your thing. भने like I love, मैले थाहै थिएन until I became a jeweler, I love bringing out हाम्रो नेपालको inspired pieces, के होइन. And that one is also and I love trying to portray or show हाम्रो Nepali culture in some ways, but in a very different way. त्यो सबै गर्न मन लाग्छ. And that's what I enjoy, and that's what I do. About that, say, as you start working, you will find out what you love. So that's basically, so that's what Kajal Naina is about, you know. तपाईँहरूलाई एकचोटि let me show you, let me take you through a slideshow of few pictures I've put up, है त, just to, if that helps. Would you like to see that? भन्नु पर्यो. Let me see. Share screen गर्छु है. Yeah. Oops. 1 minute. Okay, so oops, kind of slide कहाँ पुगेछ? Let's go from first slide. Okay, so my journey. This is quickly put together, so of course it's part of my journey. And let's go. Okay, so this one is मेरो dental school हुँदा. You can see me here, I think. And these are my friends from dental school. This was one of our class photos. Quickly के पाउँछ भनेर छिटो हेर्दाखेरि एउटा दुईटा photos जे पाएँ राखेको छु हैन. And this is again oops, sorry. This is again यो चाहिँ हाम्रो this was in first year. So this is एउटा photo which I found. You can see that dental clinic Hatisar भने. That was my clinic. I used to run this clinic, and मेरो friends who used to work for me. So these are dentists, and this is, you can see my KMC ko coat lachu, because this was during, I think, some last years of my KMC work, and we were doing this is not my clinic, okay. we were doing dental के भन्छ अरे वर्कसप बाहिर, अनि त्यो बेलामा खिचेको फोटो हो है. यो कहाँनिर मन्दिर, बाल मन्दिर कि कहाँ थियो बिर्सेँ मैले. आई थिङ्क इट वाज बाल मन्दिर or somewhere. त्यहाँको बच्चाहरूलाई हेर्न गएको थियौँ, त्यो बेला खिचेको पिक्चर. And then after that, I got married and I moved to Japan. And this is my beautiful daughter. She's already 17 years old now. म यो जापान जाने बित्तिकैको, I think the first few months my खिचेको picture. So this is Rina. Rina. And then this is this is my Japanese school days. So this is my first Japanese teacher, Katsuoka sensei, अनि मेरो फ्रेन्ड्सहरू, मेरो क्लासमेट्सहरू. यतापट्टिको पिक्चरमा हेऱ्यो भने पनि यो चाहिँ this was my अलिकति later on. यो बेलामा I was actually pregnant and I had, I think she was 5 or 6 months थिएँ म यो बेलामा. Ria was in my tummy, 5 or 6 months को थियो ऊ, and these are my classmates. त्यो बेलाको picture. अनि this is, oh my god, this is such a precious picture. यो चाहिँ रिया जन्मिने बित्तिकै, so मेरो बच्चा जन्मिने बित्तिकै मेरो, this is my mother-in-law. She had come to help me out in Japan. अनि मलाई help गरेको nurseहरू. By the way, I had a 41.5 hour labor, worth mentioning है केटीहरूलाई पर्छ. I always thought त्यस्तो गाह्रो हुँदैन because I'm so physically fit हैन, एकैछिनमा हुन्छ. And I opted for a full non-medicated childbirth भनौँ न हैन. So के पनि medication नलिकिन 41.5 hours intense. Last month I was like, oh my god, what did I choose? I chose to die भने जस्तो भएको थियो. But I got a very healthy big baby, and that was after 41.5 hours of no sleep, constant crying and shouting, and that was that. And this is my baby in the first month. पाउने बित्तिकै फर्स्ट मन्थको पिक्चर, एक्चुअली 2 weeks or कति पछिको पिक्चर हो यो मेरो ब्ल्याक ड्रेसमा भएको चाहिँ. अर्को कुरा, this picture also has an interesting story, so I just want to quickly, briefly, few lines ma tell you. You can see I'm wearing some this braces on my hands. मेरो नानी जन्मेको 1 month जतिमा हो यो चाहिँ है. So what happened was म एकदम enthusiastic mother भएर नेपालमा भन्छ नि हामीलाई रेस्ट गर भनेर, and also because it was in Japan, I did not have all that support, family support as in नेपालमा भए जस्तो. I was doing a lot of household work as well, and I was using my hands a lot in addition to having a new baby. So your wristहरू त चलाउनै नहुने भएर गएँ, and I used to go to the hospital for some injections to get it better again. So that was really hard. It's also part of being a woman, and it comes and goes. It's okay. I know. I mean, life ma ke aunछ, so part of it. This is when my second daughter was born. This is Yana. Right? So when I say second, this is my third child because Rina was there, who's my first child, then Ria and Yana. So हाम्रो last child, Yana pachi we never had because it made 3 now. So this is Yana, and Rina and Ria came to visit their youngest sister for the first time. Oops, first time देखे उनीहरूले. अनि यही बेलामा हस्पिटलमा, which means हस्पिटलमै छु भनेपछि याना मस्ट भर्खरै 2-3 दिन भयो होला. नो, नट 2-3 दिन, एक फर्स्ट डेमै आयो होला नि भेट्न त बहिनीलाई है. So it must have been the first day of Yana's birth. And this is a proud mother with 3 kids. So it's all part of balancing your life, right? Your work life, your home life, what you want to do. So kind of try our best. कहिले हुन्छ कहिले हुँदैन. Also being a woman, I know, work and home balance, it was also very important to me. I'm not very traditional जहिले पनि, तर to follow some cultures and some things, even though we live outside, so that my kids grow up understanding where they come from, who they are and what they are. So Dasaiko pictures I just included to show you some glimpse of my life since I'm sharing with you guys. So this was Rina, Ria, and Yana, and that's my husband. I guess this is the first time I'm putting him in the slides. This is my beautiful mother-in-law and father-in-law and our kids as they were growing up. I know, alikati ठुलो भएपछिको picture. So this is the family life side because I talked so much about my career and professional side, I just want to show you my family side alikati. This is life in Japan. So I don't regret anything. Alikati break liye Japan ma huँदा पछि because I couldn't get into university and continue. And then I thought, let me just concentrate for 1 or 2 years on my kids and just be happy to. And I think that was one of the best decisions I made. Aba feri अहिले those days will never come back. So I spent maybe 2 years completely on my family without thinking of work at that time. Although I'm a workaholic, I did that, and I'm glad I did that. This is again back to my work. So Singapore Maferi, then I got in. This is with my colleague. We were all dentists. So, we used to look at patients, and on our free time, we used to work on, as you can see, this one was a pig head, I think, trying to do some surgeries on pig heads. छिटो खोज्दा जे पाए त्यही हाल्दैछु, but I also used to go out for conferences and for further education. You'd say I took a trip to the UK to further my learning and got to visit, learn from some of the best dentists in the world. I know you'd say I took a solo trip to UK without my family. This is in Singapore again with my colleagues, all dentists. And also, this was my professor. She's my professor. हाम्रो head चाहिँ उहाँ हुनुहुन्थ्यो. And this was another doctor who had come all the way from Boston to teach us different techniques and things. So I did get to learn from the best. And this was in hospital again with my friend and colleague. धेरै पिक्चरै लिएन छ मैले हस्पिटलमा वर्क गर्दा because I guess we were so busy working. I found this one picture, so I put it in. And this is how we used to work on our patients. Okay, so I put in this one, alikati, although again, it's not work related or anything, because I also want to put in here that it is part of my life. I've always taken care of myself, taken care of my health, taken care of how I feel, how I look, not so much as अरूले के भन्ला के देख्ला हैन, तर being comfortable in my own skin, knowing that I'm healthy and strong and fit, and it makes you more confident when you know that from inside you are strong. So I do practice yoga regularly. um, Hong Kong I do my hikes. I go for a lot of hikes when I can. कामले busy हुन्छ तर बीच बीचमा time निकाल्न खोज्छु. This was in Thailand. I went with my yoga teacher and some friends for few days to Thailand, and purely for yoga. So yeah. Oh, actually, your picture ko she's from Singapore. She came from Singapore. She came from Japan, and that's me in the middle. This is me. I mean, we used to wake up early in the morning and go for a walk in the beach before we started our yoga practice. So that was in between, just a refresher. Yoga gareko bhanera, but you can choose anything you like, right? As long as you do something and keep fit and take care of yourself, as well as I mean, physically and mentally. This is in Singapore. This is my dean, actually. हाम्रो jewelry school को dean हुनुहुन्थ्यो when I was getting some certificates for having completed some things in jewelry with my colleagues. These are my colleagues. This is my teacher. This is my teacher. This is again another certificate when I got it from my dean. I really love my teachers. They've been really, really influential in shaping up my life. I know. Oh, by this time I was already making, this is my own design, मैले बनाएको मेरो bracelet चाहिँ. This is at home practicing. यो चाहिँ घरमा राति राति मलाई after putting the kids to sleep, I would sit and practice how to do things. So these are silver mamale, one of the first pieces I myself made. You can see this is my bedroom. I turned a small corner of my bedroom into a small workshop, and I was practicing my trade. भन्नु पर्यो. And this is training again, not in my house, of course. This is, I went to Thailand to train how to make things. So this is Singapore ma nabhako kuraharu. I went to Thailand to learn how to do. I don't make things right now by myself, but I wanted to learn everything. How is it done? So that when I design, it helps me to design well, knowing भोलि मेरो वर्कसपमा कारिगरहरूले कसरी गर्छ त्यो सबै बुझ्नु पर्यो. So I have actually learned how to make everything by myself. In that way, I'm quite I'm very detail oriented like that. So I like to learn everything before I so this is me again making, and this is one of my first few jewelries that I made, and I was so proud. मेरो छोरीले हातमा लाएर फोटो खिचेको. And this is my husband who started helping me out. Photoहरू खिच्नलाई, he is good with photography, so I asked him, requested him, and he started helping me. So घरमा सानो, we turned it into a small photo लिने area, which I still have because I have to take photos all the time. I know. Again, jewelry school ma someday. This is in Singapore after I started, just finished भनौँ न. I took part in some different events. This is in Singapore, and this is during Singapore. I just got, I entered and won few competitions over the years, internationally in different countries, like in Singapore, in Hong Kong, Italy, USA, to name a few. So I just thought, okay, I just put in some things here. When I got Hong Kong last year, I got the Influencer Award. They chose me as one of the upcoming influencers in jewelry designing. So yeah, so they wrote some good things about me. This one was the Italy one, the red one. Okay, so that brings us to the end of my slide. You say hizo. This is yesterday morning. This is such a nice picture. So I thought, okay, guys, this is a motivation thing. Keep going. You say, kasto ho bhane, this was a very steep, thadai rock, okay, and we had to climb it to a part of our hike. And while I was going up, माथि पुगिसके साथीले खिच्दिएको photo. You यसो हेर्दा flat जस्तो लाग्छ, but this is actually like more than a 45-degree angle. Now we were trying to go up, but it helps because the rock is not slippery. It's kind of alikati rough khalko rock, but it's pretty. I mean, I wouldn't do it alone. If I was not with my friends, I wouldn't have done it. I am adventurous, but not so adventurous to do it alone. But that's how teamwork always helps, right? I do believe a lot in teamwork, and inspiring पनि हुन्छ, एकअर्कालाई inspire गर्न सक्छ. So I'm ending my slide with a picture from yesterday morning, and I hope this motivates you guys to keep, you ladies, to keep going. Yeah. So basically, that's the end of my slide. So let's stop this. Okay. Diksha,
Yes, ma'am.
you could all
Well,
hear
I,
me, right?
yes, ma'am. So, like, I'd like to address the question raised by Sarayu Gautam. So, she
Mhm.
says, how do you convince your parents or guardians that you want to change your career to something you're more passionate about? And if they disagree, do you change anyway or wait until they are convinced?
Okay, so त्यसको क्वेसनमा चाहिँ I would I would say firstly I was not successful to convince my parents. खासमा भन्यो भने. So when I finished my 12th and I was at the crossroad of okay, what do you want to do, हैन भन्ने कुरामा चाहिँ अब but again it depends. मैले चाहिँ at that point त्यो बेलासम्म जहिले पनि डेन्टिस्ट बन्छु भने त at that point I told my mom, hey mom, I don't want to do dentistry anymore, I want to be an artist, right? I want to be an artist, and now I want to go to art school instead of dental school भने पनि. And धेरै बेरसम्म बाउआमासँग किचकिच पनि गरेँ कि त्यो बेला. But my mom was convinced. She said, no, Kajal, how can you do that? You've said for 12 years of your life, like grade KG classदेखि 12 क्लाससम्म कि you always said you want to be a doctor. You never said anything. How can you change? Like your brothers have every year said, 1 year doctor, 1 year engineer, 1 year pilot, 1 year shopkeeper. They always changed their minds. So my parents did not have that expectation from my brothers. तर मसँग चाहिँ they said, we expected it from you because you every year you said you want to be a doctor, you know, some kind of a doctor. So I don't think I think you don't know what you want भन्ने कुरा भयो कि. अनि मैले चाहिँ होइन होइन, आई नो वाट आई वान्ट टु बी एन आर्टिस्ट, म चाहिँ फाइन आर्ट्स पेन्टिङ गर्छु भनेर भने. बट फ्रम अ डक्टर टु अ पेन्टर, my mom almost had a heart attack. She said, no, is no way you can become a painter. Sunny, painting school say, I'm not going to send you. You make up your decision. अनि पछि मैले एकछिन सोचे अनि eventually that's why अघि मैले भने नि I chose dentistry because I talked to my dentist and my dentist said, hey, Kajal, you know, dentistry is art and science. There's a lot of art in it. So I think you might be happy because you love science anyways. And then I thought, okay, let me give it a try. And I told my parents, if I don't like it, I'm just not going to do it. But I am going to give it a try. I went in and there was no looking back, and I realized my mom was right. It's just कहिले कहिले चाहिँ decisions हामी as a young person बुझे हुँदैन हैन, तर कतिजनाको चाहिँ फेरि जबरजस्ती नै पनि हुन्छ. So so त्यो चाहिँ भयो. तर second time around when I had to make a choice of my decision चाहिँ अब because I was so much older already, I know it was not a young 12th grader making a decision, so it was different. And I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew that if I'm going to quit dentistry, I'm not going to do any other work. I had opportunities, दुई तीनवटा opportunities पाएको थिएँ कि organization officeहरूमा काम गर्नलाई as a dentist skills use हुने, but not as a dentist. So, but I knew if I'm going to do something, it has to be related to art, you know. So what I did, I enrolled in art classes. I enrolled in, so you have to see what you like. Kaile confusion. Answer is not immediately in front of you. That's it. Mero case, what happened was I gave myself some time. I said, okay, I'm going to try out different things that I like, and I'm going to see which one I fit in the best, you know. Ani त्यो बेलामा that is how I discovered jewelry. So I, like I said, अघि पनि, I did not know I was going to do jewelry. तर convincing people was not difficult at that time because people already knew, whoever I've grown up with, my family, my friends, everyone knew how artistic I was. It's just that I was good in studies, so everyone expected me to be a dentist, and I was a good dentist. I was very successful. I was one of the most successful dentists, मसँग graduate भएको, but in 10 years time. But I had to make the decision, you know. अब अरूको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I would say you have to feel it, होइन, तपाईँको पुरैबाट छ भने चाहिँ yes, you should stick to your guns. You should try to convince them. But if you are like मेरो केसमा चाहिँ I was like yes, भित्रबाट I want to be an artist, but I know that I'll be happy being a scientist also. Since science, person of science also, I knew I would be happy, so I gave it a chance both ways. I know. So there is no हुन्छ नि made to fit answer for anyone or everyone. It is depending on your situation, हैन, तपाईको आफ्नो circumstances, your family circumstances, what they are doing or what they're saying मा पनि how much of it do you really want. or कतिवटा केसेसहरु चाहिँ हुन्छ कि एकदमै नमन लागे पनि पेरेन्ट्सले पुश गरेर जान्छ and then end up regretting. अब त्यस्तो छ र you know in your heart it's going to be like that भन्यो भने yeah, why not try talking to your parents again and again and again until they understand. I know kati cases are, and these days I think people are much more broad-minded. People have started seeing things in a different light, also because their career opportunities are so big and wide. The net is so big. जे गर्दा पनि अब म भन्नु न डेन्टिस्ट मान्छे त ज्वेलरी गरिरहेको छु आज हैन. So I think you should, if you are very passionate, you should talk to your parents and see where it goes. Yeah. तपाईँलाई कस्तो लाग्छ?
That was a pretty well answered question, and I guess like your question is answered, Sarayu. So we have another question from Sindhu Arial. Did you face any hurdles in jewelry design and setting up your own? If yes, what kept you going?
Oh yes, I faced like lots of hurdles. Like, you know, I did not come from jewelry background. This is I am not from, neither from Japan nor from Hong Kong nor from Singapore. When I moved to Hong Kong 3 years ago and I started my I started my business, I know, मैले enroll गरे आफ्नो company हाले. I did not know one person in Hong Kong. Literally, okay, I'll be lying if I say I knew one person in Hong Kong. भन्नु पर्यो, एउटा family थियो, एउटा नेपाली family that I knew in Hong Kong. त्यो भन्दा like zero. I did not know anyone. मेरो भाइको साथी बस्थ्यो के यहाँ, so his family, that was all I knew. So you know, नेपालमा भयो भने जस्तो हाम्रो कति connections हुन्छ, आदि कुरा त बुझेरै सकिन्छ नि है. अब भनेर ए फलानु छ त्यहाँ ढिस्कानु छ, उसँग बुझ, उसँग गएर गर, उसँग हुन्छ, like nothing like that. So and the industry is such that it was a completely different industry also, so it is difficult. तर के भन्दाखेरि in terms of jewelry नै चाहिँ it is not a problem for me because it was so exciting for me. म त दिन रातै, I till today that's what I do. I wake up with jewelry, I sleep with jewelry, I eat with jewelry. मेरो दिमागमा कति कुरा आउँछ के. In terms of designing, I have so many more designs in my head than I can make right now, हैन. In terms of what I want to do, somehow it just keeps flowing. So त्यो aspect ma I never faced any difficulties. But business, I was never a business person. I know, I'm a science person ki art person, and I got into jewelry because I love making beautiful things. I like bringing meaning into someone's life and my life. So the hardest part has been learning to do business. It has been सुरुदेखि नै एकदमै च्यालेन्जिङ बिकज अनि मेरो हस्बेन्डले पनि तिमी हबी गरेर कि बिजनेस गरेर भन्थ्यो कि मलाई, किनभने मन परी रेटमा हालेछ, मन परी गरेछ हैन, 10 घण्टा काम गरेर अब 100 रुपैयाँमा बेच्यो भने केही कुरा बन्छ, त्यो तिम्रै वेस्ट अफ टाइम. अब and how to go about things, how do you even go and set up a company, how am I even supposed to know, like literally zero knowledge of business. So what I did was, on top of everything that I was doing, I also did online courses on business to understand a little bit of the background and to understand that platform के हो भने सानो सानो वर्डको मिनिङ पनि बुझ्दैन के म त बिजनेसको चाहिँ. अनि आफ्नो बिजनेस सेटअप गर्ने हो भने इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड वेयर यु आर कमिङ फ्रम, हैन. So that has been super challenging. अनि अर्को चाहिँ more time because I started in Singapore. अनि मैले कति कुरा बुझ्न थालेको थिएँ सिङ्गापुरमा, अब हुन्छ नि कोलाबोरेसन्सहरू बुझ्ने यताउता. And then again सिङ्गापुरमा स्टार्ट गरेर 6 monthsमा we had to move to Hong Kong and it was completely zero. एउटा मान्छे चिन्दैन के. सो खोज्नु पर्यो नि सबै कुरा, तिम्रो वर्कसपदेखि लिएर वर्क गर्ने मान्छेहरूदेखि लिएर everything. So in terms of work side, it was, and it's still today, I'm still learning every day. I still read a lot of books related to things that I don't understand. I do have to spend some time every whenever I can to go online and try to understand that aspect of business that I don't understand, you know, on top of all my designing, on top of looking after my company ko aru aru kurama. um, I have to tell you what I realized only after I got into. अनि सुरुमा चाहिँ I thought I hate doing business, I hate numbers. That's what I used to say growing up. के म त कि त आर्टिस्ट बन्छु कि त साइन्टिस्ट बन्छु त्यस्तो भन्ने कि एक्सट्रिम थिएँ मैले सोच्दा. तर अहिले आएर सोच्दाखेरि ओ माई गड हाउ रङ वाज आई. बिजनेस भन्ने कुरा त एभ्रिथिङ इज बिजनेस होइन. अदरवाइज लाइफ डजन्ट गो अन इन द सेन्स यु निड टु नो यर नम्बर्स वेदर यु आर अ टेकी पर्सन वेदर यु आर अ आर्टिस्ट. इभन इफ आइएम पेन्टिङ माई पेन्टेड र पेन्टिङ के पिक्चर पेन्ट गऱ्यो भने पनि नम्बरमा एन्डमा त नम्बर्समै एन्ड हुन्छ नि होइन. हाउ मच आर यु सेलिङ इट फर, हाउ मच डिड यु put into it, all those things are numbers in the end. So you cannot say I hate numbers. So that's what I've realized. I still hate numbers. I'm working on it. It's still work in progress, eh? Oh God, it's still work in progress. And a lot of things चाहिँ मलाई आर्टिस्टिकली त्यो भएर होला. अनि मलाई पछि पछि मलाई हस्बेन्डले जिस्काउँछ कि अनि आर्टिस्ट भनेर के पैसै नहेरेर चाहिँ अनि के बनाइरहेछ के गरिरहेछ बिजनेस कहाँ पुगिरहेछ नहेर्ने सुरु सुरुमा कि. Then I realized, yeah, unless I tackle that, I'm not going to be anywhere. हुन्छ नि. So I have spent a lot of time on myself to learn things that I don't know. So whenever मैले चाहिँ के गर्छु भने अझै पनि it's still work in progress. I don't know everything. Whenever I find things that I don't know, I have joined classes, courses, free tutorials, tried to find people who understand that and talk to them. Whatever I can do. You just got to put yourself out there and try to learn what you don't know and go ahead. I think that's what I do anyways. Aita.
Thank you
Question
so
take
much.
you, eh? Question take
Yes,
you.
yes, ma'am, exactly. So, ma'am, like as you mentioned, you you are very passionate about designing that we all can see, right? So you said like there is a story behind every jewelry piece you designed, and so like I'm a bit curious to know like what was the story behind your very first design?
Okay, the very first design monument. So there are two things actually simultaneously. दुई तीनवटा कुरा simultaneously design गरे होइन. So मैले भने नि I quit dentistry in 2016 को February end or something like that, Feb March मा होइन. यस्तो मन भारी भएर रुन मन लाग्यो कि कस्तो रुन मन लागेर छोडेको है. छोड्ने बेलामा पनि कहाँ पुगिसक्यो मान्छे छिर्न पनि कस्तो गाह्रो हुन्छ एनयुएसमा छिर्न भनेको पनि गाह्रो. एन्ड आई ह्याड टु गिभ द्याट अप होइन. विदाउट फिनिसिङ माई कोर्स आई क्विट इट. अनि एन्ड देन वी टुक अ ब्रेक. बच्चाहरूको छुट्टी आइरहेको थियो, नेपाल गयो. नेपाल गएको बेलामा वी वान्टेड टु, म कहिले गएको थिइनँ मेरो हस्बेन्डको गाउँ कि मेरो मेरो ससुराहरूको गाउँ भनौँ न. सो आइ एम म्यारिड टु राई, म त शेरचन हो. सो आई नेभर नो एनिथिङ अबाउट द इस्टर्न साइड अफ ऊ. सो उहाँहरूको होइन नाउ इट्स माई हाम्रो भिलेज भन्नु पऱ्यो साइडमा हेर्न जान मन लाग्थ्यो थियो. सो बच्चाहरू लिएर वी वेन्ट के. त्यो बेलामा मैले कस्तो वियर्ड है, नेपालमा त्यत्रो जन्मेर हुर्केर पनि आई थिङ्क द्याट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई स अ लालीगुराँस ब्लुमिङ के फुल ब्लुममा. यस्तो टच भयो कि मलाई मेरो हार्टमा. तर मैले सोचिनँ म लालीगुराँस ज्वेलरी बनाउँछु भनेर त सोचेको थिएन. बट वेन आई वेन्ट ब्याक एन्ड आई जोइन्ड ज्वेलरी द नेक्स्ट मन्थ, आई जस्ट न्यू इट द्याट आई हेभ टु मेक इट त्यसरी भए कि. सो द्याट वाज वान थिङ. एन्ड द अदर थिङ द्याट आई एक्चुली मेड वाज लोटसको. मेरो इफ यु लुक इन माई वेबसाइट यु विल फाइन्ड मेरो लोटसको छ कि सिङ्गापुरा भनेर कलेक्सन. बिकज आई वाज लिभिङ इन सिङ्गापुर एट द्याट टाइम एन्ड I spent a lot of time with my kids. We used to go to the botanical gardens. अनि मलाई जहिले पनि यस्तो मन पर्थ्यो कि त्यहाँ भएको लोटस. टिचरले क्लासहरूमा बसेर यत्तिकै के पढाइरहेको बेला म स्क्रिबल गरेर नि मैले त्यो लोटसको ज्वेलरी आई वान्ट टु मेक भनेर I was scribbling and designing that. Okay? So those two are, I think, like the first ones that I actually made. Yeah. So, and the story that comes भन्यो भने the thing is that with Laliguras is because it was something that, not because म नेपालको मान्छे भनेर यत्तिकै ऱ्यान्डमली म चाहिँ लालीगुराँस बनाएँ भने चाहिँ राम्रो हुन्छ होला, maybe everyone will like लालीगुराँस, त्यस्तो होइन कि. It was like, oh my god, this is something that I really want to put into my design and bring out भनेर होइन. So I made लालीगुराँस. The lotus was also because it was something that really touched my heart. I wanted that story to remain with me forever. मेरो त्यो बेलाको लाइफको part of my life हो नि त. एन्ड त्यो लोटसको चाहिँ अर्को कुरा के पनि मेरो लागि इम्पोर्टेन्ट भयो भने द मिनिङ सिम्बोलिजम, आई गेस मोस्ट अफ यु नो द सिम्बोलिजम बिहाइन्ड लोटस होइन, बुद्धिज्ममा पनि हुन्छ एकदमै हाइली, बिकज लोटस इज समथिङ विच ग्रोज इन मडी वाटर्स, मडी पुल्स, डर्टी प्लेसेस एन्ड अल, बट इट्स सच अ ब्युटिफुल फ्लावर. सो इट्स लाइक अ सेकेन्ड ऊ के लाइफ जस्तो कि. अनि मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो भयो भने सिङ्गापुरमा हुँदा द्याट वाज सो रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ टु मी, because I was trying to make that decision, dentistry छोडौँ कि नछोडौँ. छोडिनँ भने मेरो फ्यामिलीलाई गाह्रो भइरहेछ. म भोलि गएर, we knew we were about to 1 year पछि moving to Hong Kong, which we had to because it was my husband's work. अनि but if I don't leave, it's gonna be neither here nor there, right? And my family's gonna suffer. And if I leave, you know, the whole story, right? So so the lotus was very symbolic, like in terms of rebirth and all. So I was like, okay, maybe I can go through a rebirth. So that is how these jewelries actually came about. And and after I made the lotus बनाउँदाखेरि, of course that was during our trip होइन. मैले हामीले बच्चाहरू लिएर त्यो बेलामा, त्यो बेला डिस्ट्रिक्ट भन्थ्यो, अहिले त चेन्ज भयो के अरे, back in 2016 we visited 17 districts. मेरो बच्चाहरू लिएर गएर we took a road trip and we visited 17 districts in total in the mountains of Nepal. So during the course of our journey, 17 district journey, my husband, myself, my kids and my in-laws, we passed through several laliguras forests, waterfalls and all these things. So when I went back to Singapore, that was what I had to do. So yeah.
That was so creative and so thoughtful of you, ma'am.
तपाईँले हेर्नुभएको छ मेरो त्यो ज्वेलरी, देख्नुभएको छ?
Oh yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
it's so beautiful.
That's like it looks so fine and so artistic and it's like so clean, and the design are really mesmerizing. Like I was like so like wow, that's really jaw dropping.
Thank you.
Ma'am, so like I'd like to ask you, like being married female, you have a double role to work, you know, being you have to work as a businesswoman and at the same time a mother of 3, and you have to look after your household, you have to look after your family and children, and also you have to balance your office work at the same time. So how were you able to manage and balance this both?
That's a tough question. होइन, तर like so many other women who are doing it, I guess अब गरिरहेको छ, सबैले गरिरहेको छ. It's nothing that मैले एकदमै गरिरहेको भन्ने कुरा पनि होइन. Many women have been doing it very successfully since a long time, and I try my best to. I guess यसमा चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ कसरी हेर्छु आफ्नो लागि भने, prioritize, always prioritize according to like होइन, सबभन्दा के अर्डरमा जानु पर्यो त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै गर्नु पर्यो. अनि planning is very important. Unless you plan, if you are someone who wants to do so many things like me, if we don't plan, then it becomes nearly impossible होइन. प्लान चाहिँ एकदमै गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. अब लेजी भएर त हुँदै हुँदैन, त्यो त सबैले बुझेकै छ होइन. सो normally I'm someone who never, once I wake up in the morning, I never sleep, I never take a break. But it's just me. And whatever I do, I try to put in my best. Sometimes I cannot, you know, गर्न मन लाग्छ कति कुरा गर्न सक्दैन पनि. Sometimes I feel very bad if I can't do things that I've promised to my kids, which happens once in a while. But as long as I think, as long as we are trying to our best and doing what we can, it's okay. अर्को कुरा चाहिँ त्यस्तोमा चाहिँ I also feel is that surrounding yourself with positive people एकदमै important मेरो लागि चाहिँ एकदमै. because म चाहिँ कस्तो भनेपछि एकदम पोजिटिभ मान्छे छु होइन. And when I have positive people around me, it rubs on me and it makes me even more powerful. I feel like I can do anything के बुझ्नु भएन, when I have positive people around me. अब नेगेटिभ पिपल हुँदा चाहिँ मेरो पनि एनर्जी ड्रेन गर्न थाल्छ कि, अनि एनर्जी ड्रेन भयो भने सक्ने कुरा पनि आज 10वटा कुरा सक्छु भने भनेर 5वटा कुरा गरेर सकिन्छ हैन. सो number one for myself, and I think it might help you guys also, because it is in general what works for most people पनि हुन्छ नि है. So surrounding yourself with people with positive attitude who cheer you on. अब जस्तै कि फर एक्जाम्पल, अब ए यस्तो 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 गर्नुपर्ने, अब एकदमै गर्नुपर्ने, मैले यति भ्याएँ भनेर आज अब मेरो हस्बेन्डले आएर ओहो यति मात्र भ्याएको, यु आर सो युजलेस, यु कुडन्ट इभन फिनिश दिस मच, वाट इज दिस म्यान भन्यो भने कस्तो हुन्छ, आफूलाई खतरा खतरुको हुन्छ, भोलि गर्नै मन लाग्दैन आधी काम पनि होइन. बट इफ द्याट सेम पर्सन कम्स एन्ड सेज ओ काजल वाउ यु डिड सच अ गुड जब, यु फिनिश दिस मच टुडे एन्ड you've done it really well, okay भोलि just make sure you finish this much भन्यो भने, you know, that positivity really would help me. अनि oh yes, I was appreciated for what I did, भोलि चाहिँ म सकाइहाल्छु, भोलि त I'm going to do even better and finish whatever is in my calendar, everything I'm going to finish, you know, that kind of. And that takes energy के, energy, positive energy नै चाहिन्छ. So that I think is very important. अथवा त्यो त्यो के गरिरहेको भने त्यो सुनेर बस्यो भने त there's, I mean, you can't get things done, right? If you are someone with agenda, if you want to be a working woman, if you want to be a good mother, if you want to be a good wife, means you have to be on your toes, you know. And again, you also have to find some time for yourself. Just अब मैले हिजो भने, हिजो बिहान I was out hiking. You have to time, otherwise that is what again gives you the energy, re-energize गर्न अलिकति त केही त चाहियो नि. मलाई चाहिँ I have to be with friends बिचबिचमा हैन, that makes me happy, that gives me the energy to फेरि भोलिपल्ट दिनभरि बसेर काम गर्दिन सक्छु नि. So you have to know what you need also. Oh, and the last thing I will tell you, so important to know where you need help and ask for it. मैले यो चाहिँ जहिले पनि भन्छु कि मान्छेहरूलाई, if you need help in any place, any part of life, any things like small or big, you have to ask for it. You have to think who can help me. तर जहिले पनि सबलाई मलाई हेल्प मलाई हेल्प मलाई हेल्प मात्र होइन, when you can you also should. It's ओतागाइनी भन्छ कि जापानिजमा चाहिँ, which means, you know, both ways, it goes both ways, होइन. So जस्तै मलाई अब हेल्प चाहियो when I was having my baby in Singapore. अब मेरो, like I said, I don't have my own dad and mom, but my mother-in-law, she's super nice, she loves me a lot, होइन. अनि मलाई पनि एकदमै माया लाग्छ, तर मम्मी प्लिज 3 नै महिना आएर बस्दिनु पर्यो अब भनेपछि आएर every 3 months she would come and spend 3 months with me, मेरो बच्चा सानो हुँदाखेरि कि है. अब मेरो हस्बेन्डलाई I said I need help, I do need to get back to work, you know, at some point. अब 2 वर्ष ब्रेक लिए, now I need help, I need you to step up and help me. How can we do this as a family, होइन. Because otherwise you don't want to have a wife who's not very happy. Obviously, I will try to balance it the best I can, but you need to help me to arrange our lifestyle so that I can also do other things than just हुन्छ नि अहिले गरेर आएको भन्दा भनेपछि. And my husband understood and he said, okay, how do you need help, what would help you, तिमीलाई कसरी के गर्यो भने help हुन्छ, that you can, you know, go back to school or start working or work on your things, होइन. Same thing with other things also, फ्रेन्ड्सहरूसँग पनि. अब कहिले कहिले हामी बाहिर बस्दा त you need so much, it's always give and take, but अब कहिले कहिले त्यस्तै पर्यो भने अब साथीकोमा can you take care of my kids for an hour, भोलि म तिम्रो बच्चा हेरिदिन्छु भन्न सक्नु पर्यो, राम्ररी आफ्नो साइडबाट पनि राम्ररी गरिदिनु पर्यो. These are small examples, कहिले bigger examples in life-हरू पनि हुन सक्छ. So to ask for and receive help and also give help when it is needed to other people, that's also very important. Selflessly गर्नु पर्यो. वुमनलाई त एकदमै सपोर्ट चाहिन्छ फ्रम सो मेनी डिफ्रेन्ट एङ्गल्सबाट, फ्रेन्ड्सहरूबाट, फ्यामिलीबाट, इनलजबाट, आफ्नो फ्यामिलीबाट, हस्बेन्डबाट. all this support balance भएन भने we cannot have both lives. We cannot have a working life and a successful working life and a successful house family life, होइन. So understanding that, I think, is important. What I try to do, uh, hopefully it's working so far. Hopefully it keeps working. Yeah. So that's my answer.
Wow, like you have balanced it pretty well. You were giving time to your daughters, like when City did the most, that motherhood, and your husband, he was like always so supportive, and your friends and family, that's really good to know. And like in the beginning of your career, like when you started, like in the beginning, very first beginning, have you ever felt unmotivated or regretted leaving dentistry and going out for your passion? And if that is so, then what inspired you to stay in the same track and do what you are doing right now?
Okay, thank you, Diksha. Your orco question, which is quite important, you know. Like I said, मैले चाहिँ choose गर्दा नै, I firstly, to regret or not to regret ma 100% one can never say, but म चाहिँ I I'm very impulsive and I take things by the horn, होइन. But at the same time, भित्रबाट सोच्यो भने चाहिँ I do actually do my 1+1=2 हरू चाहिँ माइन्डभित्र गर्छु कि, होइन. So when I took jewelry, I just put one foot in, tested the water to see whether I like it or not. Then I put more feet in, and then I realized, oh, I like it more and more. Then I put all my in. I know. त्यसरी गएको हुनाले I kind of already liked it. I knew I wanted to do it. तर रिग्रेट चाहिँ त्यसैले आई हेभ नेभर ह्याड. मैले त्यही भने कस्तो सरप्राइजिङ, मलाई डर थियो कि, मैले भने नि फियर थियो, 2-3वटा फियर अझै. अब यङ हुँदा त त्यो सम फियर्स आर नट देयर बिकज यु आर यङ, यु हेभ यर होल ahead of you. मैले when I chose to do leave dentistry, I was around going towards the end of my 30s, you know. So it's not a young age that I'm trying to switch also. So a lot of fears were there, and one of my main fear was यस्तो टाइममा अब मैले चेन्ज गरेको कुरा मन परेन, and if I don't like it and I regret going into, that will be like हुन्छ नि डेभस्टेटिङ फर मी. आई क्यान टेक वान्स बट आई क्यान नट टेक इट अगेन होला भन्ने डर पनि लाग्यो कि. सो द्याट वाज एकदमै, एन्ड ओ माई गड, आइएम नट यङ एनिमोर. आइएम एज इन लाइक यङ भन्नाले फ्रेस कलेज ग्रेजुएट ट्राइङ टु सी इफ आई लाइक दिस अर इफ आई लाइक द्याट अर द्याट. आइएम नट द्याट भन्ने डर चाहिँ थियो कि. तर वेन आई स्टार्टेड वर्किङ आई रियलाइज yes, it is a valid door, valid fear, होइन. तर I did not actually have to fear it that much also, because life ma, I think it's never too late for anything, रहेछ कि अहिले आएर बुझ्दा चाहिँ. अब कहिले छिटो हुन्छ सक्सेस, कहिले ढिलो हुन्छ सक्सेस. Maybe if I had started as a jewelry designer back then, who knows, अब अहिले म कहाँ पुगिसके हुन्थ्यो होला भनेर पनि सोच्न सक्छ. हो 10 वर्ष डेन्टिस्ट्री गरेर वेस्टै भयो भने. But no, I think you are just in life, you are where you are meant to be at that time, you know. If I was a jewelry designer at that time, maybe it would have been very different for my story. Maybe being a dentist helped me to understand things much better so that I could be better jeweler today, होइन. So त्यो वेमा I don't regret. तर there have been instances where, oh my god, yeah, what did I get into? I don't understand anything. I feel like I wanted to be an artist. I did not get into this to be like हुन्छ नि यत्रो कम्पनी रन गरेर do this do that. Oh my god, this is not my cup of tea. कहिले कहिले के त्यस्तो चाहिँ. अब when I couldn't understand the business part of it, भएछ, एकदमै भएछ. अगेन त्यसको अघि नै पनि मैले एन्सर गरिसकेँ, होइन. हाउ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अगेन स्टेबल माइन्ड लिन खोजेर, ओके, सो द्याट्स माई प्रब्लम. आई डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड दिस, आई डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट. द्याट इज वाइ आई एम ह्याभिङ दिस ब्लक and why I am not enjoying this part of the work. So what do I do? Make it more enjoyable by understand. If you understand, there's nothing to not enjoy neither. खासमा त, होइन. So again, you end up being a student again and again. Student भन्नाले trying to learn again and again and again. Try to learn. Yeah. So that's my solution to my problems.
Yes, ma'am. It's like you have to bring up your own solutions for your own problems, right?
Yeah. अब problem भयो भनेर बस्यो भने त त्यतिमै end हुन्छ नि त फेरि.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly. So like mom
And in life different problems comes in different ways, right? Okay, it
oh,
life
exactly.
tests you so many times. अब मान्छेले हेऱ्यो भने एन्ड रिजल्ट मात्र देख्छ, ओहो उसले त यस्तो गरिरहेछ, अब दीक्षाले त यस्तो गरिरहेछ, काजलले यस्तो गरिरहेछ, but the fact of the matter lies that, you know, oh, I have taken courses sometimes online गरेर all the way US को मा. So for months and every night I have woken up के दिनभरि, because we are in this side of the world. अब यताको साइडको टाइमिङमा त सबै काम गर्नै पर्यो होइन. And then put an alarm and then wake up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock according to their timing. Wake up for another 3-4 hours to attend classes and go back to sleep like 1 hour and wake up at. मेरो त उल्लु जस्तै भएर गएको पछि त राति टाइममा सुत्नै नसक्ने हुन्छ नि. I'm still struggling trying to get my back into, and it's not 1 day 2 day, it's like months and months, right? So if you are someone who's not dedicated, you will not do that. Oh my god, this is not my thing, I'm not going to, मेरो life disrupt गर्छ के भन्छ छोड्छ नि. तर if you keep doing it, you do it, and in the end it's done. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So, like, ma'am, as you have been traveling a lot, because of your like business activities, like you were there working in Singapore, and then you again went back to Japan, and then now you're in Hong Kong. So, how has this traveling? You have opened your jewelry there and here. So, how has this affected your business so far? Like, was there any sort of problems, or it affected like the revenue or anything else? So.
Well, अब हामी त we are still a very baby company भन्नु पर्यो होइन. अब it has not been many years, so it's work in progress, small step at a time. And I do believe कि अलिअलि experience गर्दै grow गर्नेमा, organic growth, grow slowly but understand and have a deep root. That's what I like to do. मेरो लागि it's different for different people. Your business strategies might be different होइन. So my thing is that I like to understand and go ahead. Traveling has helped a lot because traveling helps you to understand people. It helps you to understand culture. I know. It helps you to understand the market that you're trying to serve. I know. About basic human nature will always be the same because we are all humans. But I think what I've understood in the last 3 years as a business owner, is that, and humanले ब्युटी र ह्युमनको जुन ह्युमन नेचर इट्स इन्सेपरेबल के. ब्युटी भन्ने कुरा त जहिले पनि ब्युटी इज ब्युटी, नेपालीलाई पनि ब्युटी नै हो, चाइनिजलाई पनि ब्युटी नै हो, अब अमेरिकनलाई पनि ब्युटी भने नो वान क्यान डिनाई इट्स ब्युटिफुल. बट कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ इन द लाइफ अफ डिफ्रेन्ट पिपल द सेम ब्युटी अब कसैकोमा त्यो युज हुन्छ, कसैकोमा हुँदैन कि होइन. अनि so traveling helps you to understand, and when you understand people or when you understand their needs, what is, how can you serve them better भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ it becomes easier, right? So it's not easy doing business internationally पनि. अब you have to understand different, different cultures to actually be able to serve them. So it's work in progress. Through my travels, actually, I think I've been very fortunate, and it helps me to understand so much more. In terms of अघि मैले भनेको सबै पोइन्ट्सहरू. अर्को चाहिँ in terms of myself, what do I want to do? Okay, you need this, but does it mean that I want to offer you this or not? Is it me? होइन, मैले किनभने संसारमा त कति कुरा चाहिन्छ, कति कुरा डिजाइनर भए पनि जे पनि बनाइदेऊ भन्छ. इज इट समथिङ द्याट आई वान्ट टु डु, डज इट फिट इन टु माई लाइफ अर नट भन्ने पनि फेरि क्वेसन आउँदो रहेछ कि. सो भेरियस क्वेसन्स यु आस्क यर सेल्फ. एन्ड ट्राभलिङ एक्चुली ओपन्स अप यर head and your ideas, and it also makes you appreciate a lot of things. अब हामीले, अब म नेपालमै बसिराख्दाखेरि अब कति कुरा बुझेथे, कति कुरा नबुझेको बाहिर गएर पनि बुझेछु, एन्ड इट डिपन्स द्याट फिलिङ के फेरि होइन. अब त्यो कुराहरू अझै डिपर भएर आउँछ. सो ट्राभलिङ आई वुड डेफिनेटली, traveling doesn't have to mean just this matra pani haina. Sometimes it can be internal travel, sometimes external travels, whatever it is. When you get the opportunity to, I would encourage people to travel if you have the opportunity to. अनि पहिला पहिला हामी बच्चा हुँदा चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्थ्यो, नेपालबाट हाम्रो ट्राभलिङ भन्ने कन्सेप्टै छैन नि. अनि ट्राभल गयो भने पनि गयो भने अब हेर्ने बुझ्नको लागि होइन कि पुगे भन्ने, अनि त्यसपछि ला यो गऱ्यो भने यता खर्च हुन्छ, त्यो गऱ्यो भने खर्च हुन्छ। एज अ नेपाली त हामीलाई त इट इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट बिकज वी हेभ लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेस भनौँ न आफ्नो, होइन। अनि डलरमा कन्भर्ट हुने बित्तिकै नेपाली भन्दा अरू कुनै पनि करेन्सी मोर भइ नै हाल्छ नि। सो इट्स अलवेज यु अलवेज स्पेन्डिङ मोर। पानी किनौँ भन्दा पनि पहिला पहिला के सोच्यो भने पानी किन्यो भने 100 रुपियाँ त मिनरल वाटर एक बोतलै जान्छ भनेर, ओहो सकिन 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 हुन्छ नि। बट आई गेस इट्स जस्ट अबाउट if you do have the opportunity to go out, मैले हेर्दा चाहिँ आई ट्राई टु, हामी त एकदम हेरेर एक्सपिरियन्स लिन खोज्छु कि। सो विदिन वाट एभर इज your interest, your budget, your how can you best plan it, होइन। अनि त्योबाट लर्न गरेको कुराहरू चाहिँ आई फिल इट्स सो हेल्पफुल रहेछ वर्कमै पनि, या एन्ड आई थिङ्क डिफ्रेन्ट वर्कहरूमै पनि हुन्छ होला, होइन। तपाईँहरूको टेकहरूमा त झन् oh my god, there's so much opportunity because now the whole world is running on tech, right? Like even me, if I'm not open to tech, I'm like, okay, then I might as well stop working, I know.
Yes, ma'am. Like technology, like in nutshell, we can say that technology has overruled this era.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, ma'am. So, like, ma'am, like, what as you have been traveling, and like you have now built up an empire, and everybody does face a difficulty, like in both in national and international platform. So, being a female jewelry designer, what were the difficulties you faced, and how have you tackled them?
The difficulties I faced as a jewelry designer, right, internationally. Okay, number one is my own mindset. Thinking that not so much because I've always been very extroverted. Like I said, growing up mindset, but and also sometimes you feel maybe I'm a little bit less that in confidence. Even for the most confident people also, which people might not see, but it's still there, होइन। अब त्यो त आफैले वर्क गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यो कुरा चाहिँ। And the other things, as a jeweler भन्यो भने चाहिँ, yes, getting to just to get into the jewelry industry, होइन, just to get into the jewelry industry, like I said again, finding out there are so many things के जस्तै अब मैले बनाउन मन लाग्यो भनेर मात्र भएन नि, सोर्सिङदेखि लिएर अब तपाईँले मलाई आएर ए यो बनाइदेऊ न भनेर, if you think it's just going to come up, it's not, right? अब सोर्सिङदेखि लिएर who are the people that you want to work with, होइन, त्यो खोज्नेदेखि लिएर अब and there are so many different background elements to it के। So त्यो सबै coming from, मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ भने coming from Nepal, मेरो background, and having lived most of my life there, and having all my friends and family and connections back in Nepal and not where I live right now, it is a big disadvantage, compared to if I was a person from here and I started here. School, but high school पढ्दासम्म स्कुल भरि पढाए साथीहरुदेखि लिएर कलेजमा पढाए साथीहरुदेखि लिएर family and family friends-देखि लिएर all that support would have been there. So that support is not there when you're working out, but which is very important, but it's not the most important. As you can see, people do make it out of their countries, but it just takes double the effort. It takes double the energy. It takes double the strength in your mind that no matter what, yes, I'm going to do it. Yes, have fun and do it. Find out, like find the people. अब त्यो नेटवर्किङ गर्दा पनि नेपालमा गयो भने त 10 जनाको नेटवर्किङमा गयो भने 5 जना चिनिसकेका हुन्छ के, बुझ्दैन। यहाँ जाँदा त you're like, okay, I'm the only one who's like, I don't know anyone. But then slowly it starts building. So first year भन्दा second year भन्दा third, perseverance. You just need to persevere. And like I said, homework नगरिकन त कुनै पनि इन्डस्ट्रीमा हुँदैन नि, हैन। आफ्नो साइडबाट if you don't put in your work, अब it can be different, work can be different ways in different what field you are in. अब मेरोमा it was about finding all the right collaborations, right partners to work with, also finding out my own platform. I decided, I decided to also concentrate online. So I do a lot of online as well. So that was a decision I made 2019. I know. So I have to make a very big decision. Online ma concentrate गर्ने कि नगर्ने, because it's like, whatever you have decided, you put in a lot of your time and effort and energy in that. अनि अब अनलाइन गर्ने भन्ने बित्तिकै अब I am someone who spends a lot of time researching also. So I researched, I went through courses, I looked at how websites are made, what are the things that needs to be in a website which is selling luxury. अब जति भने पनि jewelry is still a luxury. It's not something that you need to live, but it's a luxury. So I spent a lot of time researching on how to do online. It's not easy. It doesn't come as a point जुन छ मैले फर्स्टमा स्टार्ट गर्दाको सोचे भने त छक्क पर्छु कि म. So those were challenges that I had to overcome. I still don't understand a lot. I'm not a techie person, but I try my best to understand what I can. Yeah.
So, ma'am, like there is a question from Sabita Neopani, like recent, like just now you were talking about tech, like you are not so a tech person. So, what do you think about the importance of being available on digital platforms like Facebook, Twitter, or any website of your company, and how has that helped for your business growth?
Oh, absolutely. That's an absolute necessary as a good day and age matter. You cannot overlook that, right? I mean, you don't have to be everywhere, but at least somewhere to hunai parcha. As a good day and age ma, that's what I feel. You cannot say I'm not a tech person, I'm not, or you cannot say I'm not comfortable with this, I'm not comfortable with that one. If you're not a tech person, if you're not comfortable, then you better find someone who's comfortable and put that person in charge. अब आफै नगर्ने हो भने पनि नि होइन. त्यो जस्तै म के आइएम नट अ टेक पर्सन, मलाई त्यो एकदम स्ट्रेट कुराहरू चाहिँ गर्न सक्छु, अनि अलिकति ऊ भयो भने प्रब्लम भयो भने आई जस्ट मेरो दिमागले इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट फर मी टु. अनि मेरो हस्बेन्डले यस्तो हेऱ्यो भने यति त हो रहेछ के, दिनभरि अड्केर कुर्छु कि कहिले कहिले, उसको टाइम भएपछि उसले मलाई सल्भ गरिदिन्छ भनेर हुन्छ नि. लाइक it's just the way I am, right? I mean, I do एकदम नबुझ्ने भन्दा त बुझ्छु, तर उसको लेभलबाट I cannot understand things. So, and also regarding about all these platforms like Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or this or that, do you need to be there? Absolutely, you need to be there, because that's where the world is looking at. Maybe tomorrow something else will, I mean, I'm not saying that जहिले पनि यही कुरा मात्रै हुनुपर्छ त भने हैन, but I think yes, definitely, even for us, in the last 3 years, बिस्तारै we are spending time there. I have spent quite a bit of time working on my different platforms. अब टेक भनेर टेक्कै त नभनौँ, सोसियल मिडिया प्लेटफर्म्स त अब इट्स प्रिटी एभ्री वान इज, अब टिकटकमा सबै नाचि नै रहेछ. अब इट्स नट डिफिकल्ट. तर बिजनेस भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अगेन यु निड टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड सम थिङ्स होइन. So I have put in that effort to take some courses where I can understand, okay, suppose if I say Facebook for business or Instagram for business. We recently started doing, I have started doing Pinterest also very recently, 2-3 महिना भयो. अब त्यो स्टार्ट गर्न अगाडि I paid money to understand, so that हुन्छ नि अलिकति कोर्स एउटा लिउँ न के रहेछ. पिक्चर हाल्ने हो, आई नो पिक्चर त म गएर हालिदिउँला नि होइन, तर अलि बुझेर गऱ्यो भने it makes more sense. So I do take the time, effort, and put in some money, spend some money to increase my knowledge, I guess. And I definitely believe that as a good day and age, whether it is any kind, service industry, product industry, whatever industry is that it is, you need to put yourself. मैले अहिले दीक्षासँग काम गर्नु पर्यो भने first thing what do? I'll go online and I'll like Diksha, होइन. Then I'll try to see के रहेछ तिम्रो के छ, what comes up, right? And a lot of times, so I guess it's important. Yeah, मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ it is, and it is where the world is going more and more towards.
Exactly, ma'am, exactly. Like as I mentioned earlier, this technology and all the social media platforms has overruled this era.
Exactly.
So ma'am, like
social media for balance हुन्छ, तर कहिले कहिले too much भयो.
Exactly.
तर social media मात्रै नभनौँ, technology चाहिँ 100% one cannot through
Oh,
technology, I think,
yeah, exactly, ma'am.
yeah.
So, ma'am, like as some of your designs, like were featured in Elle and Vogue as well, and many more other designs. So, how did you feel? Like like of course, everybody would be very happy and pretty much excited because their designs are featured in such a prestigious magazines like Elle and Vogue. So, how did you feel at first, very first time when you heard that it's featured there?
Excitement, happy. um, no, seriously, no, about excitement, happiness when you get featured in such publications, when you get awards. It's the same feeling. I know award one. About first time देख्दा त अनि excitement is always the same. The first times are like the most exciting. Okay? Like हुन्छ नि यस्तो ए हो र is it true अनि यस्तो हुन्छ. And then also a sense of accomplishment, a small sense, you know, that you have a long way to go, but at least okay, this one step though I've started taking रहेछ भने जस्तो त्यो एउटा pat on your back जस्तो के अनि and it always feels very great to be acknowledged. अब दीक्षाले मात्रै अब दिदी तपाईँको कस्तो मन पर्यो भने पनि यु नो मेरो मनभित्र कतिवटा लड्डु फुटिरहेको हुन्छ कि बिकज मैले कति धेरै मेरो प्यासन, मेरो माया, मेरो टाइम, मेरो एनर्जी लगाएर मैले गरेको कुरा तिमीले राम्रो भनिदिने. एन्ड इमेजिन if internationally above banda when you get awarded or when someone recognizes it, it's a very wonderful feeling, of course, and it motivates you a lot. I know it's a great motivation as well for doing better. Mm. Yeah.
So that was all, ma'am. So would you like to add something, or would you like to say something, like a message, kind of message to the young ones who are willing to do something in this field, or are like being like coming from a different background and choosing a very different background and working and achieving more, so would you like to say something to the new generation?
Yeah, definitely. I've talked a lot, you know. As I didn't think it was possible. तर कति धेरै रमाइलो questions-हरु तपाईको अहिले, it's already so long. So I've actually talked quite a lot. तैपनि in the end, I think, yeah, I mean, तपाईहरु सबैजना young generations-हरु, you have so much opportunity, so much scope in front of you. Whether you are in Nepal or you go abroad or whatever it is, मलाई चाहिँ लाग्छ कि एउटा चाहिँ अलिकति you should know yourself हैन, आफूलाई भित्रबाट what is it that you want, what is it that you're good at, and what is it that you're willing to give in हैन. अनि तपाईलाई want भनेको that's your goal. अब goals भन्ने कुरा त जहिले पनि सेम हुन्छ, तर you have to be flexible. भन्छ नि त्यो, like I've learned over time भन्दाखेरि if the plan doesn't work, change the plan, not the goal, हैन. That is so important को यो saying पनि, because लाइफमा अब sometimes we might think something, plan something. मेरो गोल चाहिँ यो हो, जस्तो मैले भने म त नेपाल छोड्ने हैन, नेपालमा there's so much scope for me right now. I'm going to, so I had my first clinic there over 8-9 years, and then when I married my husband, अघि मैले mention गरिन, but I was buying my second, building my second clinic. So I was building my second clinic, अनि बिचमा I had to leave, and I decided, not had to, I decided to move, हैन. So but my goal was to be a dentist, right, at that time, or if you look at the bigger goal, actually it's not to be a dentist. My goal was, मेरो bigger goal चाहिँ जहिले पनि के हो भनेपछि then dentist was my means to my end के जस्तै अहिले पनि it's still ongoing हैन. I will not say I have reached where I should reach. It's happiness, and happiness for me चाहिँ to do something really well, हैन. Whether, so that is why dentist हुँदाखेरि do dentistry well, म jeweler छु, I'll do jewelry well. So the goal is to do something really well, that will give me happiness, and if I am happy, my family is happy, and everyone else around me is happy in my मेरो आफ्नो वेबाट हैन. सो गोल त चेन्ज मेरो कहिले पनि भएकै छैन नि, तर प्लान्सहरू चेन्ज हुन्छ. ओके, सो टु डु समथिङ रियली वेल, टु मेक अ नेम फर मी, टु बी ह्याप्पी. नाउ डेन्टिस्ट्री डिडन्ट वर्क आउट, बट हाउ क्यान आई डु इट? सो माई प्लान ह्याड टु चेन्ज के. सो ओके, एज अ ज्वेलरी डिजाइनर, then so be it, right? So तपाईँहरूलाई पनि अब एज यु गो अलोङ यर जर्नी, समटाइम्स जे सोचे थियो एक्ज्याक्टली वर्कआउट होला, कहिले कहिले नहोला. You have to keep your mind open, you have to keep your flexibility open, होइन. एन्ड अघि भने जस्तै तपाईँको गोल, इभेन्चुअल गोल जुन छ, मैले पहिला पनि आफूलाई भन्नु पर्यो, बिङ अ डेन्टिस्ट, द्याट वाज वाट आई वाज. अनि आई सो रिलेटेड टु जहिले पनि अब डर साहब ओके डेन्टिस्ट, डक्टर काजल, it is like that was me ni ta. But when I have to leave it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to leave it. But that does not define me. Dentist did not define me. Okay? I was a dentist, but that did not define me. What defines me in the end, भने चाहिँ डेन्टिस्ट भएर मलाई के पाइरहेको छ, द्याट इज वाट इज डिफाइनिङ मी. सो आज मैले जुलर भएर पनि पाइ नै रहेको छु कि होइन. सो किप यर माइन्ड्स एन्ड अप्सन्स ओपन. तपाईँहरूलाई आई विश यु अल द बेस्ट. I'm sure just the fact that you guys are here listening to me for the last 2 hours, it collaborates and it really speaks volumes about tapaiharu, what kind of person you are. Right? So I wish you all the best. Yeah, thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was indeed a very insightful and a really inspiring story. That was a really inspiring journey, ma'am. You know, like I would like to say, everybody who are there in our Facebook Live, do what your heart really wants to do, and do follow your passion. Ultimately, you'll achieve something, right? So thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of Her Journey series and sharing your journey with us. And without further, I'd also like to say that for all the audience who are there in our Facebook Live, you can sign up to our Genius Clyde Academy portal. त्यहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो वेबिनारको सबै भिडियोहरूको एक्सेस छ. Plus, there are other courses as well. You can sign up and check out there. We will be having more events in the coming days. So you can check our Facebook page, Instagram page, LinkedIn page, Twitter, and to stay updated with our upcoming events. So thank you so much. And this Her Journey series session with Mrs. Kajal Naina ma'am ends here. And have a great day. And thank you for being with us these 2 hours. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Diksha. म एउटा लाइन भनौँ तपाईँले.
Sure, ma'am.
So all our viewers, जसले पनि हेर्नु भइरहेछ, if you'd like to look at my work, kajalnaina.com, that's where I am, or on Instagram, Kajal Naina Fine Jewelry. If you like anything, give me a like. Aita. So you can check out my work there, and if you want to connect anytime, you can always write to me at Kajal.
Sure.
Kajal@kajalnaina.com. You can email me at that if you want to know anything more, or if you can there. Yeah.
Ma'am, as we are organizing this virtually, and it would be better we could meet up and then take a photograph. That would be a really good thing. But since we are doing this virtually, we would like to take a quick snap. So I'd like to request all the team members, all the members of Girls in Tech Nepal, whoever has joined in, to please turn on your cameras so that we could take a very good snap. Our marketing team, Triza Thebe, will be taking the screenshots.
Okay, thank you. Gallery view, man.
Yeah, I'd like to request all the members, please turn on your cameras. We are a total of 7 members here. Okay, so I'll be taking the screenshots.
Sheila, Sindhu, and Trijit.
Yeah, maybe they are quite uncomfortable. Please be free and open your camera on. This was a very insightful and inspiring journey, and this is a memory we created just now. like when we look back into the days, like whenever we grow older, and then it was like we had this session, so it would be a memory, part of the memory.
पिक्चरमा आउनुहुन्न होला नि, or maybe फोनहरुबाट गर्यो भने पनि कहिले कहिले गाह्रो पर्न. Oh, Aishma, I watched it as well, was very informatively. But they're not here, obviously. तर सिन्धु शिलाहरु चाहिँ तपाईहरुको गर्ल्स इन टेककै टिमको हो?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're team members. Ma'am, we are done taking the picture. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Have you taken a picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. La. Thank you very much. Right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, ma'am.